Hi, and welcome to Pearson. Kidnapping, lawsuits, catfights. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, how you doing? We're here live with Pearson. Episode 5 already. Season 1. I'm your host, Jackie Nova. I am solo today, but guess what? We're going to make it short and sweet, and it's going to be fabulous. Okay, let's get to it. So we're going to have a little news segment. It's going to be really short. It's the Keystone Comic-Con. That's where Gina Torres is going to be at. And we're going to continue with your contempt special segment. So let's get right to it. Okay, so right in the beginning, I mean, I'm not going to try to recap anything, but that looked like a kidnapping to me. I don't know about you guys, but if you're online and you're live, please comment, because I'm wondering what went on right in that beginning segment, right? And then it went back to like 8 weeks earlier. They showed that right in the episode. And so I geared up and I was like, okay, 8 weeks earlier. And it was cool. I was like, all right, we've got the recap of Nick not trusting Jessica, he's talking to Mayor Bobby, and Jessica and the boyfriend having their little intimate moment and how he's warning her. But then it just kept going. And I'm like, oh, this is not a recap. This is more like they're just trying to show you 8 weeks earlier how it all unveiled, how Jessica had to get back on board and had to become the mayor's basically sidekick. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. I mean, it is causing a lot of turmoil. Jessica goes to the hospital and she's talking to Angela and she's dropping the suit. So that happened. And I can tell by the previous episode why that all is unveiling, which is very interesting. And there's the lunch with Local 19, Derek chatting with Mayor Bobby. Derek wants to upgrade. I mean, my overall thoughts on this episode was like, wow, Jessica is a very strong presence, and she is a threat to all the females in that office. And then I like how Derek becomes buddies with her, because I thought in the other episodes he didn't like her so much, but he really does. And They also introduced Debbie Coates, and that Bobby and her are in the mix together and will sell her down the river. Jessica was very much intruding into a lot. This was delving in much more on behind the scenes of what Jessica was doing in the previous episodes that we were not seeing. And so I'm glad this all showed up. So we have Jeff, the boyfriend, moving to Miami, and he basically tells Jessica, you know what? I'm going to volunteer in Miami. And she just calls him out on that. And I think that's just, wow. I mean, women have an intuition, and she was on point with that. So I'm kind of just giving you guys a little, you guys know what went on the show. You guys definitely know all that. But I was just a little blown away on how they did this episode. Was a little different how they did the previous episodes. I think they were just trying to, I don't know if the writers were trying to make sure, because before you know it, the season's over. So they're trying to kind of give you a little more details about things. So I did find it interesting how Keri talks about how Pearson's license was taken away. And Keri doesn't like how she's undermined. And I don't blame her. She's a young lawyer, and she mentions that she's a young lawyer, and she's tired. She's tired of everyone pushing her around. And I like her character because she actually starts to become stronger. And that's interesting how that's happening, because although she lets Bobby she really falls for Bobby's BS, and she lets him kind of get away with murder, but she's starting to hold her ground a little bit more, and that's interesting. I like how that is. And I love how Pearson, how there's the protests in the West Side, and how the school Franklin they're protesting because they want to keep it open. I love how Jessica is investigating every little nook and cranny in this episode. Let's see now here. Oh, oh my goodness. Tell me in the comments, please. Tell me in the comments, what do you think about this when right here, Bobby and McCain having their conversation? Because let's talk a little bit more about Bobby. He mentions how he hired Pearson to get close to the enemy. Like, hey, you need to keep your enemies close. Whoa. Now we're realizing Bobby is a little snake. Because I've got my topic about Keri, and Keri's doing her thing, but I'm going to go on to Bobby. Bobby's a little snake. We kind of knew he already was, but I'm feeling like he's being more of a snake now. You got to keep your enemies close, and he points it out, that's why I hired Jessica. Like, whoa. Oh my goodness gracious. Keri and Pearson have words again. It's just like almost like a hot mess how this Nick and Pat McCain. Pat pays Nick to keep an eye on Jessica. I was like, I got to be truthful with you. I would probably have to watch this episode maybe one more time, because it kind of just like, it felt like, I don't know if the writers I don't know what was going on, but we're going to figure it out, because there's a couple of people here that are in contempt for sure. But before I head on and talk about more Pearson, I want to tell you, thank you so much for watching us here at AfterBuzz. We love what we do. Please go to your YouTube, your iTunes, write comments, thumbs up, fingers up, all that stuff. Do likes, subscribe. Please share, because we are the ESPN of TV talk, and we want to thank you for that, because we could not do it without you. So we really want to thank you for that. Hey, muchísimas gracias para eso. Well, back to Pearson. I noticed they're not using too much Spanish this time around, but I do like how they go to court with Debbie Coates. I do like that moment. Bobby is not out of the water yet, but people are like pulling for him. There's Derek pulling for him. There's Pearson even pulling for him. And this lady, Debbie Coates, it was such a sweet surprise to have her drop. She dropped the suit. I was like, whoa. I was mind blown that she dropped the suit, actually. But, and who else was mind blown? Was Bobby. He was definitely like, and why was this dropped? And then everybody that's for Franklin School, because this whole episode is about Franklin School. It's about Bobby and Pearson trying to figure out what is going on in this town, because like she wants to unveil. I was a little confused for a second, so if anybody's on the chat and help out, that is absolutely fabulous, because I was just like, again, it seemed a little bit recappy, but it's because they were trying to unveil some things in this episode that they didn't get to unveil throughout the other episodes. So I like that she dropped the suit, because when Keri and Pearson, that was a really nice shot when Keri and Pearson were walking down to the court. That was a really nice shot. And then the lawsuit, I just thought that when they were like Finley and Brody, I thought the matter was like not against those people, but this case was closed. And so once again, Keri was undermined by Pearson. And that was a little dig. I'll tell you what. And if I was Pearson, I would have done that because, Keri's the one who took her license away. Let's not forget that, folks. Keri is the one who took Pearson's license, her law license away. But she's so smart about how she did this. I love how she did that. And Pearson and Keri talk about how Keri took the license away and how Keri says disbarment, like you're I will disbar you, like you'll feel like it's jaywalking. There's a whole lot of lawyer talk here. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go get a lawyer book for these episodes. I'll tell you. I'm gonna see if anybody's on the chat with me. Let's see who's on here. Hold on a second. Well, while we're doing that, what else? Jessica visits Lillian. And that's what was interesting me because, okay, right now there's nobody right now, but it's okay. We're going to get some people on here. And if the show's done, if you guys are on and you want to comment, I will check it later and I will comment right back. So it's okay. For those of you that are kind of like, you're just not home from work yet or whatever, I will get back to you and we'll chat. We'll chat about this episode for sure. I do like how Jessica went to see Lillian. It was a very sweet moment. I mean, I felt like, wow, she's not going inside her house. I mean, that's her aunt, but she just felt like a failure. She felt like a failure. She wanted to let her aunt know, like, hey, I failed. Sorry, I did drop the lawsuit so that I can work with the mayor. And it's like right after that, that's when they were showing some episodes for later for next week, how the thing with the piece of paper showing like the picture of this dead guy and how it was the neighbor of Lillian. It was pretty interesting. And Keri and Bobby he goes over at Keri's house. That was insane. He's like, and you know what, guys? My apologies if I'm going back and forth with the topics. It's just so that these characters really fascinate me. They're just like, wow. I love Bobby. He's very ballsy. I love Keri because she's young. She knows she's gonna make things happen for herself. And she's this little thing, and she stands up to Pearson anyways. And I love Pearson because who doesn't love Pearson? This is why we're watching Gina Torres. We love Pearson. And yeah, I mean, it kind of gets down to it where Bobby and Keri, even though Keri wants to not be involved so much with him, he comes on over and she's like, yeah, you're taking a risk here. He's like, I'm not doing anything with you. But they wind up doing it anyways. Like, oh my God, this man does not care that his wife is sick. It's insane. It's insane. And yeah, Jessica at the apartment, the Department of Justice with a photo of Nick. There's a lot of juicy stuff going on. I mean, next week, I cannot wait for next week. And I'm going to give you guys like a little contempt. We're going to go to that special segment. Contempt. Where's my little contempt? Ah! Okay, I have it right here. My contempt. Okay. See if you guys agree with me because you can just go on and you can comment and see if you agree with my contempt. Stay in your lane and she'll stay in hers is what the mayor tells Keri. I mean, you know that Pearson's not going to stay in her lane. And you know that maybe Keri might have, because she's maybe a little afraid of Pearson, but yeah, neither one of them are staying in their lane. So you're content for that. He's also in contempt for, you're going to learn that issues are less important. Is he serious? Issues are less important? Dude, you're the mayor. Issues are supposed to be what is important. So you're in contempt. I'm giving it to you, Bobby, because this episode was very thick on you. Enemy, keep them close. That's why I hired Pearson. He's in contempt of that too. This man is in contempt of a lot of things. He's just very shady, very shady. I'll tell you that much. Now we're gonna get to a little news, and I want to find a little. I want to find a little news for you. I love going on to Gina. I love to go on her Instagram, and August 23rd through the 25th, she's going to be on Keystone Comic-Con in Pennsylvania Convention Center. There she says, and on her Instagram, if you check it out, it says, "Hey, Philadelphia, coming your way in 2 weeks. Hope you can make it. My last Comic-Con for the year, and I am to misbehave. Ooh, all are welcome." Wow. And she says, "See you soon." Let's see what she has on her Instagram right here. Jessica wants answers, and she's gonna get them tonight at Pearson. Oh man, you know what? You can go on her Instagram and you can find all kinds of juicy stuff. She's also friends with a friend of mine that I had no idea about. And it's on her Instagram. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is Aida Rodriguez. I'm a comedian myself and I do stand-up. She is such good friends with her, and it says "They Ready," and my other girlfriend Shantae Waynes is also on the "They Ready" segment of Netflix, which just came out yesterday. And so she is here supporting her Latinas that are doing their thing. And you know, Tiffany Haddish is the one who actually produced, and this is part of her production. And it's called She Ready, but the whole thing is called They Ready, and it's on Netflix. So watch that. We have some friends in common. You know, when they say you have one person, 6 degrees of separation, I mean, that's just wild. That would be amazing to get her on the show and interview her and have some juicy, juicy details and gossips on the set. Wouldn't you want to know about that? Let us know what you want to know here on AfterBuzz. Go to our YouTube channel, go to iTunes, just check it out. Listen, write the comments down. If you have any questions about the episode, if you think you wanted me to cover something more, I will cover it. And if I'm not covering it this week, I'll cover it next week with Tanir. Tanir is away for the night, but he will be back next week for those of you who are wondering, okay? So let us know what you think about this episode. There was so many things going on in this. There's lawsuits that are happening that Pearson had to go and when Dennis and Keri were having their little shing-ding at the restaurant, she slapped him with the lawsuit. I mean, you know, we're trying to keep Chicago clean. We're trying to keep the South Side clean. So Pearson is here to make some changes, and she is doing that in this episode. And Keri or nobody else is getting. I did like, how Derek was helping Pearson a lot. He was helping her a lot throughout this episode. He wasn't that way before. So I do like that about this in this episode. So yeah, it almost seems like we've covered so many things, topics in this episode, and it's just me. So it's like just going to be a short segment. But I love you guys, and I think we covered everything. My goodness. And I tried looking in here. Look, Jessica talks to Derek, and it's like, yes, she tells Keri, there's a lot of overzealous lawyers in this firm that will find information for me. I mean, it's just heating up. I like that they're bringing Derek back into the episodes even more. At first he was a little bit more like, I don't know. He was just like kind of like the coffee boy, but he is really doing more work, and he is in it and nitty gritty, and he really wants to make changes at the mayor's office, and he definitely has the mayor's back. So I like that Derek had to find tax documents for Jessica to try to make these things work out with the lawsuit. Because you know what? Pearson is here for the greater good. And that's all we want. When we have a community, that's all we want. We want things to work out. We want the community to be safe. We want that Franklin School to be open. Because why do the children that don't have the opportunities that other children have to be shifted out of being in school? So I like that they highlighted that Franklin School in the lawsuit and how Franklin School at the end of the episode got to stay open because we want to keep the kids educated, no matter from what demographics they come from. So, Pearson, kudos to you. Great job. You're always doing your thing. You're an amazing lawyer and amazing presence on television for us Latinos. So thank you for that. And everyone in the cast and crew, thank you for this show. You're incredible. I will highlight the writers and directors and other people of the show next week and the weeks after that. And so stay tuned for more next week. I am your host, Jackie Nova, and you can find me on all social media, Jackie Nova 7, and go to www.com. No, my God, that's not it. I got so excited. Wow, I love this episode so much. I was actually going to give you the Pearson website. No, you can check me out at Jackie Nova 7, and you can go to oxfilms.us because my feature film is an action suspense thriller, comes out this fall in October. I'm so excited. It's called Art of Deception. It is a Richard Ryan film, and you can catch me here for Beverly Hills 90210 on Wednesdays, earlier on in the day. That's a 7 o'clock show. And then you can catch me here at Pearson's on Wednesdays. It's a 9 o'clock show. And then you can catch me Tuesdays with Bring the Funny. And that is a 9 o'clock show. It is on and popping. Thank you so much for being here with me. I am Jackie Nova again. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you to Maria, and thank you for Keven Undergaro for making this place exist for us because we love what we do. Thank you, AfterBuzz.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.